Welcome to You Know Me, a Golden Isles podcast. This is The Beard.
And I'm Buddha.
What's going on, Buddha? How are you?
Man, it's been a week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And we got the holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving, then we got Christmas, and then it's the New Year. And then, of course, what happens after that, we got, then spring. But, then you think about spring cleaning, and you got all this stuff, and you're like, what am I going to do with all this extra junk that I got? And that's happened to me plenty of times. So, of course,
oh yeah,
what do you need to do?
Oh, I got a garage full of it.
Yeah, and so we got to get a dumpster, right? So we got the right guy here talking to about dumpsters, trash talk. Hey, what's up, Brad?
Hey, how are you?
Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Brad Springstead. I'm the new owner of Trash Talk Roll-Off Dumpsters in Brunswick, Georgia here.
Nice. So you're the new owner.
Yes, sir.
Right? So let's talk about that. How was that process of starting a business?
Well, to backtrack, I ran the business for the past 4.5 years, basically since like the pandemic. And I was everything. I was the only operator. It was a family-owned business, and it was like their side project, and I ran it for them, and then not knowing that it was gonna become mine, but the process of going in and buying the business was a lot. It was a lot of learning curves and obstacles, but a plug. There's a place here that's from the UGA. It's right by the Stroglo, or not Stroglo. They're cool too.
The
Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Small Business Development Center.
Yep.
They are great people to work with, and it's free. Your taxes pay for it, and they helped me write like my 3-year plan for the bank, and taught me more about QuickBooks, the money side of it, and this and that with the business. And I still call him now. I'm like, hey David, like, how you doing? Like, can you help me with this? And he drops everything and he emails me, and we're back and forth. And so they were a godsend. But we worked with them. They helped me get rid of my deer in the headlights look, and how to talk to the bank and get the loan going and everything like that. But it was definitely a learning curve, but it's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Every time I think about when I retire, I want to start a business, and I'm like, how do you even start? Like, it's got to be so stressful, but.
I can tell you, I didn't have dreams as a kid to be a trash guy. I didn't want to be Dumpster Brad. I wanted to be a rock star, but here we are.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be a rock star?
I can say, from an economy point of view, it doesn't matter what the economy is. There's always going to be trash.
Right.
There's always going to be people with lots of money, like on Sea Island, that are remodeling. Maybe when they do or don't have to, and I will gladly haul their
trash
away, or their construction debris, and go from there. It's a business that's always going to be around, no matter what. The world could be falling apart, but we're still going to have trash. So.
Right, and if the world falls apart, you got to put it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm your guy. Take it to the landfill for you, for sure.
Well, that's great to know that the Brunswick business development people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And
I had found out from the bank, actually. They had told me that they work with them, and they sent me there, and I was so thankful that they did, because I would have known about it. I didn't know what that building was going by there. And
So did they help you with filing for a business license, like from point A to
every single thing that you can think of?
Wow.
As far as business is concerned, they will help you with
business plan.
Mm-hmm. The plan, the whole 9 yards, the whole like I said, from QuickBooks and they offer. There is a pay portion where you can go on their website, and they'll offer like courses in like QuickBooks or marketing, social media. And it's not just here in Brunswick. They have Kingsland, Jessup, Savannah. But they'll have like that. The most expensive course that I've seen was like $90.
Oh yeah,
for all day course, or like some of them are 4-hour courses. So
it's a good resource.
It's a very helpful resource.
Yeah.
So then, but you have to pay for like to have your permits and stuff like that after you file your business license and stuff like that.
I didn't really have to get. I just had to get an LLC.
Right.
So I had to pay for that. But I don't have. Other than that, all I do is pay like the to have the different landfills that I go to. I go to that. But as far as licenses and stuff, I don't have to have that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But again, if anything ever changed, like I can just go there and they can
help you out. So that's amazing. It's a good resource that you're correct. I don't think a lot of people realize that resource is here in the Golden Isles or even in Brunswick.
And I literally, before I bought the bit, I probably was there about 10 times and setting up meetings with them. And I kept asking them, like, you sure I can't pay you? Like, no, you already do. You pay with one of your taxes. I'm like, well, maybe we can go get a steak dinner or something. Right. I felt so bad eating there with all the knowledge I was acquiring.
Right.
Yeah. Like, the know-how how to do things now. Like, I know what I'm doing now. Walking out with my chest held high. And, like, that was free.
It's an amazing resource.
Yeah. It really is. And you know what? It's something that's overlooked or forgotten a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so thanks for bringing that up. And, people listen in and, because we've had a lot of people who started their own business, candles and
it doesn't matter what the business is, they'll help you.
Business.
Or if you have an existing business, they probably help you with.
Absolutely, like I'm gonna use it forever because I want to keep growing and keep learning and
definitely
either with the free service or like I said with the paid the courses.
Because now you're going to move on to marketing and then social media, which is the next which is the biggest thing now is marketing on social media and how do you get those engagements.
And you think it'd be easy, but there's like algorithms, and if you post at this time it reaches this many. It's just
it's crazy.
You thought it'd be like, just make a little Facebook post and share it to Instagram and but no
you
have to do it like Tuesday at like 7 a.m. or otherwise if you do it at 3 it's not gonna go. It's just
it gets lost in like someone's feed. Like they'll never see it.
Or they'll see it like 4 days later, after the fact.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like I noticed that. Like I think that's happened a couple times with some of your posts. Like I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, why is this showing up like now? I'm like,
or like it's you don't want to. You almost feel like if you acknowledge that post later,
I feel bad.
You feel bad. You feel like. Well, why didn't you see it 3 days later? Or like, from a different point of view, you almost feel like, say it's like a girl's picture or something. Well, if I like it 4 days later, she's probably going to think I'm creeping on her page. And I'm just happened to be scrolling in the news feed and it just popped up now. It's the first time I've seen it. So you just end up ignoring stuff just to play it safe.
Right. And then some people wonder, like, why am I getting no engagements? So it's like, well, I see your post like 5 days later. I'm not going to like it because
it's crazy.
And they're smart on their end because you can, when you have a business page, every time you make something, there's a little boost button on the bottom, and you can pay a certain amount, and it'll reach. If you pay $10, it'll reach 300 people. You pay $20,
but like the problem is who's those 300 people that? Because I did that when I was with doing my hats, and I would boost, and it would be like
Montana.
Yeah, or people from like Canada or like Germany or like Mexico or like Venezuela. I'm like, like I'm trying to reach people that they ship to. It's like
right, and now it's like you gotta wake up at 2:30 in the morning to make your post because that's your optimum time of posting.
Everyone's gonna wake up in the morning and be like, I need a dumpster.
Yeah, I've honestly I've never paid attention to that. I just post when I post.
Right. They thought it would just be easy peasy, and it's not.
Especially for probably business owners. Right. I mean, I hear it all the time from business owners that they get no engagements, and it's weird. It is weird.
And some of them, like the ones that you think, this is going to be great, and you get like 3 engagements, and then just like some blurb just. Here's a Trash Talk logo and rent it or don't, pretty much. And I get like 17 engagements, 47 shares. I'm like, what gives? I stayed up all night thinking of some corny thing to say.
Right, something awesome.
With props and everything and skeletons or whatever. And I got 2 engagements, but this.
Yeah, just your logo got like 75 likes, 18 shares, 35 new followers.
Like, whatever, Facebook. I'm done with you. But yeah.
So let's get back to Trash Talk, which actually I love that name. I think you should actually branch off and have your own podcast called Trash Talk.
Yeah, I mean, I could take it a lot of places. I can't take credit for it. Like I said, there was previous owners, but
it's yours now.
They do have a story they gave me. It was it originally originated from out near Hoboken and Waycross area, and there was a little old lady who had a dumpster out in Blackshear, Georgia, and it said "Trash Talk" on the dumpster, big stickers everywhere. It was in her yard, and we did the whole spiel, like sent her an invoice to her email address, and she kept ignoring it. Because you can see on QuickBooks if somebody views it or not. And she would view it and then delete it. We'd send her another one. She'd view it. So we finally called her, and she's like, "I don't want your dirty magazine." We're like, whoa. The Trash Talk is sports or whatever. Like, it's definitely not a dirty magazine. What is a magazine, first of all? Second of all, it's not a magazine. This is the dumpster you have.
Trash Talk.
I don't want your trashy magazine.
Oh, my God. I love it.
The centerfold is a dumpster. It's a 12-foot dumpster.
Brand new.
Ooh, that one has WD-40 on it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Listening.
It's lubricant. Oh, no,
Yeah, I could have my own podcast for sure.
Now we got to put an explicit label on this now. So
listen at your own risk.
Right. So I know I've used you a couple of times. So let's talk about cliche here, dumpster sizes.
Okay.
So what are the different sizes, and what do you recommend if someone's got just a little clean out to a medium, stuff like that?
Well, me personally, I have 4 different sizes right now. I have a 12-yard, 15-yard, 18-yard, and 20. I do know from doing this about 5 years that residentially speaking on that side of it, if you're doing a clean out or moving, 12 and 15 is the way to go. Okay. Just a garage clean out, my 12 yards are shorter. All sizes have doors that open on the back. So you can open up the back door and walk the stuff in, or put a little piece of wood in for a ramp if you have heavy stuff. But the 12 yards are shorter. So once you close that back door, it's easy. It's 5 foot 10 inches tall. You can just still heave stuff over the top. The 15 yard, the one you actually got a 15 yard.
Okay.
That still wasn't that bad. Once you close the door, it's not too. If you plan it right, if you're not throwing concrete at the end, over the top, and it's still pretty easy to load. But all day, 12s and 15s for residentials. My 18 yards and 20 yards are pretty much for my contractor jobs, on the island for big jobs where I'm burning and turning. What I mean by that is I'm dumping it and bringing it right back.
Right.
So yeah, 12 and 15 yard. Then 15 yard is pretty much around the standard. There's a few other companies that I work with. They're a little slightly different from me. There's another company that has just trailers.
Right.
Where mine's a roll-off dumpster. Well, some people don't want a roll-off dumpster on their driveway. You can put wood down and prevent cracks or anything, but they don't want that weight. They want just tires. So I have a buddy that I'll recommend them to go to his company, and he'll send people my way.
Right.
Or he does weekend specials where I do weekly specials. So it just depends. We just work with each other.
That's nice.
And that's been my approach from the whole time.
Right. Was it cooperation, not competition, or something?
Right. And there are some that they just want to own. They want to run the world.
Right.
But you can't. Not same thing with the grocery store. Wonder Bread cannot supply bread to all of us. You have Nature's Way. You have Sara Lee. You have whatever. You can't have just one company taking over all the trash, no matter how bad they want to. So we're kind of one of the little smaller mom and pop guys. So my approach has been hey, we can all eat,
right?
As long as we're not what's the term? I don't know if I can say it.
Poaching,
not
undercutting.
I was going to say low
balling,
each other and trying to rip each other off.
Yeah.
Let's just work together,
right?
And it's much easier. It's much easier to be nice than it is to they're garbage or they're this. We all have our perks. We all have our advantages. It just depends. If you want to use that for this job, cool. Here's his number.
Right.
But keep me in mind for a next job.
Right.
Type deal. And it's been more lucrative, and people appreciate that. side of it. The customers and myself and the other owners. It just depends on what the customer's looking for. And so, like I said, like a 15 yard is basically like we all have those. It's around the average size I've noticed, like at the landfill. But trash truck, we have, like you see the bigger trucks, like the Mack trucks. We have ours are more like they're like pickup trucks, like the work truck size, like the flatbeds.
Yeah.
And I love seeing kids in the window. They love to see it because it's like a robot, because I pull in their driveway and I press buttons inside the truck and this arm like extends out and reaches down like with a hook. It looks like a tow truck, and then I hook onto this dumpster and then I pick it up like I'm doing a bicep curl. And you see them in the window like, whoa.
It's like Transformers.
The one I have right now I only have 2 trucks. So like I said, it's just me. I don't have any employees yet. I will down the road. But the one truck that has levers in it, well, the other truck has just like a little, it's like a remote control. It's on a cord. It can only go so far. But I'm able to hand it outside the door. I can stand outside the truck with that one. So I've had it sometimes where kids have been out, and I'll talk to the parents first. Obviously, I'm not like, hey, come here, kid. But
I got trash back here.
I got some trash, kid. Come on. But I'll let them press the buttons. And then, obviously, I won't put them in danger, but I'll let them do so much. Like, all right, now you got to stand back. I'll finish it.
Yeah,
but they love that. It's so cool. It's like the highlight of my day.
Yeah, when they have like, sometimes they'll do like on a first Friday or something, they'll do like trucks and stuff like that. That would be a good time to probably come out and let the kids, see it.
Right.
So.
I have thought about talking. Like I've noticed other dumpster companies in the area that are at events like that, and I want to get into that kind of stuff and have it be out there. And like I said, then I could have here,
marketing.
Yep. Yeah, you're doing nothing but promoting me at that point.
Right, right. And the kids love it. You can buy little tiny dumpster toys to give out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, where does it all go? When you've got a full dumpster, it's a construction place on Sea Island. It's full. You pick it up. Where does it go?
A magical place called Trash Mountain.
Oh, what? Yes, I knew it. I knew it.
I can't tell you how to get there. I can tell you what it looks like. There's a few places. I have accounts. I have one in Glenn County, which is where the easiest one to get to. They're also the most expensive for me. So I have accounts in Glenn County. I have one. There's a landfill up in McIntosh County, up in Darien, and there's one down in Camden County. If you go, it's west of Woodbine.
Okay.
Those are the 3 that I frequent most often. There is others that I don't go to. There's one out in Jessup. There's one in Brantley County, but I don't go out there. But I have those 3 accounts that I go to, and depending on what I'm hauling or whatever, or how many jobs I have. Depends on where I'm going to go with your trash, but it's one of those 3 places. They all have their own perks and different prices and whatever, but those are the 3 places.
So what would be a perk? Like if you needed to go to somewhere outside of Glenn County to dump your trash or dump the trash?
Well, me personally, like you as a residential, you have to go to your county.
Your county, okay.
Unless you create an account with these people and
right.
A perk for me on my end would be the price,
right,
and the weight of the dumpster, or how many jobs I have to do that day. Like if I have 8 jobs to do, I obviously can't go back and forth from Sea Island to Camden County. It's an hour each way, and they're open from 7 to 5. So then it's lucrative for me to be like, hey, I'll do like 3 of these in Brunswick, just to bam, 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 knock them out, and then I'll go to the cheaper places. But then again, if I go down to Camden County, I'm literally driving on, I wasn't making that up, it's Trash Mountain. I'm driving on trash.
Right.
A mountain made out of trash.
Yeah.
So I could be driving over your nails or your whatever and putting holes in my tires. I do have a guy on speed dial in Brunswick Commercial Tire. Shout out to Ethan. He just does commercial work, but he It's right off 82. And I have some times where I'm just like calling him like pretty much like every other day. So for a while, the old owners were calling me Blowout Brad. I have a lot of names, a lot of hats. But so going to Brunswick is better on my vehicles because I'm going on a scale, pulling off a scale, and I'm in a parking lot. Could there still be nails? Maybe. But there's also people there that are taking care of that. I'm not driving on a trash mountain. I'm driving on a concrete pad or a parking lot. Same thing with Macintosh. They have a trash mountain too. It's more dirt and clay. Weather plays a factor. If we have 3 days of rain or a hurricane coming and I can't go to some of the trash mountains because I'm going to sink. I'm going to get stuck.
Right.
So I have to go to a place like Brunswick. So it just depends on a lot of factors like that.
Man. So how many times have you blown out a tire?
How many times? It's kind of a personal question. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, but I will tell you the worst one that I had was I was loaded. The weight. I wasn't driving drunk. I was loaded up with a 15-yard dumpster, and it was pretty heavy. And I was going over the Sydney Linear Bridge, and I got up on top, and the truck has dualies in the back. So luckily it wasn't a steer tire up front, but one of those in the back, and it sounds like a shotgun when they explode. And I got to the top of the bridge. It was kind of windy. It was already, and all of a sudden, boom! And I just started and I couldn't do anything. And I slowed down to 5-10 miles an hour, but I'm still spitting rubber. All the cars behind me are just you could tell it was they were like the Matrix, choo, choo, choo. I'm just spitting rubber everywhere. And I called Ethan. I'm like, hey, man.
You got to help me out.
I'll meet you at the truck stop. I'll be there. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Little House on the Prairie right now because I'm doing literally 4 miles an hour, but I'll be there because there was no space there for me to safely, especially with a load on. I need to get to a parking lot, so that was the worst one. But yeah, I have blown out a lot. I haven't in a couple of weeks. Knock on wood, that's what that was. But yeah, it's just the nice thing that I like to do is build relationships with these people too, and get on the good side, not just because they're giving them money, but it works out with them where they service a lot of the U-Haul trucks in the area, and if someone calls and complains, like, well, they're really loud tires, and we don't really like them, and so they have to legally take them off. U-Haul does. Well, if they have less than 10,000 miles, give them to me.
Right.
Send them my way all day. I'll throw them on the truck because they could last 6 months. They could last 6 days. So instead of spending hundreds of dollars on one tire, give me that tire at a discount, and we're all happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds smart.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good. That's great business right there, actually.
Another one I can tell you about, too, is I'm located down at Exit 29. There's a field next to Southport Storage. Stokes Welding, Chuck Stokes, great guy. I'm sure if you live in that area, you know of him or you someday will. I had a breakdown yesterday with my hydraulics, and he's my go-to guy for that. My other truck, I've been getting haymaker since I bought this business. My other truck is broke down in Savannah right now, so I'm down to one truck. These guys don't work on Fridays. He came and met me at his shop yesterday. Him and his son-in-law, Caleb, they worked on my truck for about over 8 hours.
Wow.
And they got me fixed. And they're going to be off all next week. So, I'm sweating it out there trying to see, what am I going to do? Because if they can't fix this, the trash talk is pretty much done. I'm going to call my customers and be like, hey.
You get a free dumpster.
You get a free dumpster. Sorry about I'll see you when I see you. I don't know when I'm going to pick it up. My contractors, hey, you have to call somebody else and work around my full dumpster. Or I was going to maybe call another company and see if I could rent a truck from them. It went from there to I'm going to sell it, move in with mom, sell my house. Going to be broke as a joke. Knock, knock, mom. Hey, guess what? What's for dinner for now until eternity? Because I'm moving in. But it all worked out, and they got me fixed yesterday. They're such good people, and I can't say enough good things about them. So building relationships with them, sort of like back in the day with like trade.
Yeah.
So I have arrangements made with them, like with dumpsters, like for work and like welding. Like they do repairs on my dumpsters. So the approach that I've taken, I'm very proud of, with as far as like, you know, not only with just my customers, but other businesses, and having us all work together and coincide, and they get things from me and I get things from them, and it works out. Trade is a very
it's a
valuable.
It's a good commodity to
Absolutely.
have. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not just cut and dry. Like, here's your $300 dumpster.
Right.
It's, hey, here's a dumpster for this, and like it works out for everybody.
Building those relationships, those business
Right.
relationships, that networking.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, because
like this, like I'm talking about them now. I just brought up two businesses. Well,
yeah, and then
shout outs, man. That's the thing. Word of mouth, and you know, people will complain more than give compliments to. When you look at reviews,
Facebook.
Yeah.
Look around this area. There are so many complaints about like fast food. And this and that, and then it's always, you don't have to read them anymore. You already know. All right, they're complaining about McDonald's. 3 people are going to agree, and 47 are going to be like, "Well, why didn't you just cook at home?" It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we all have the legitimate beef McDonald's,
but it's easier to talk trash,
right? Trash talk, and then,
trash talk. Plug.
Yeah.
So, what were some of the other pitfalls, or trials, and tribulations that you did not expect to find taking over a business?
Lawyers are awful. Sorry to any lawyers that I know. I know a few.
Thankfully, we haven't had a podcast with any lawyers.
Yeah, I know.
We can erase that part. Lawyers are great. Just little fees, little things, and like things that I wouldn't have the heart to do. Like an email, it costs how much for you to send that email? You don't even. You were talking about trash talk, but you were talking to somebody else.
Right.
But I got billed for it, like so little things like that.
It's a death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Probably different bills, stuff like that, and it's just right all at the beginning too.
Yeah.
So that part you don't plan for, or like if you're like me, like I don't know, I never owned a business, large or small. But then again, that's where
Lucas,
they came into play with the small business development, with helping me. Like, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have this, and prepare. What else? The other stuff I pretty much already knew from running, because most people are genuine and good, but just like in any business, I'm sure. But there's bad people in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have people that I've bent over backwards for, and they still owe me money from 2021 because of the way that. And I'm very eager to keep learning and changing. I'll probably change it 1,000,000 times, but I like to see the good in people, and I like to just, like, for instance, right now I charge you once at the end.
Right.
Well, that's because I have to weigh your dumpster and get the final price. So pretty much I've already dumped your trash.
Yeah, it's gone.
When I send you the invoice, and I'm just hoping, Mr. Beard, will you please pay me? Please, Mr. Beard, please pay me. And hopefully that you will. And most people are genuine and good and pay it within a week or whatever. But there's some people that just all of a sudden they're not answering your call, or they're blocking you, or they're it's a hassle.
You ever want to go back and grab their trash and dump it in their yard?
Well, that's where I was going to go. So I'm on TikTok, and I don't know. I kind of want to look into it, but I kind of want to not, because I want to never have to do this.
Right.
But I see a lot. I watch a lot of it because I like, from the business point of view, I like seeing other businesses and how they do their roll-off dumpster business, how they do their pricing, how they do this, that, and the third, all that inside stuff. But I also see, and I was like, this is what happens when you're a deadbeat and you don't pay your bill. And you see them back up and open the door, and that dumpster goes beep, beep, beep up in the air, and their trash comes out, and they just leave it in the front yard. And I'm like, yes, I want to do that. That dude needs it. That guy needs it over there so bad. Oh, he's been dodging me for 2 years. But I'm like, can I really do that, or is that littering?
Yeah,
Littering.
Right. And then the thing is, like, whose trash is it? Like, because their trash is already gone.
Well, I did think about that aspect of it. in one case, it was like a set, like it was lumber. They were like
Yeah.
redoing like a deck or something.
Yeah.
So I would just wait until I got another
Set of lumber.
set of lumber and make it similar to their trash.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're throwing away like household trash and
Yeah.
guys like mail in it or food or anything. I wouldn't throw that kind of a job on someone else's. I'm not going to do it, period.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear.
To all listeners, I'm not going to dump your trash in your yard. But little things like that you don't think about going into it. I already knew that because I ran it since 2020.
So then you would then that's when even lawyers come, because then like, well, do I hire a collection agency, and what's the
Right.
fees on that? And
Or like if they don't pay me, I can send them an email or a text and be like, listen, I'm trying not to send you to collections. Am I really going to send them to collections? Am I really going to go to small claims court? Am I going to take the time and the
Right.
money on my end?
Right.
Especially now when I am trash talk. I am the guy that answers the phone. I'm the guy that
you're
operates the dumpsters. I'm the guy at night that sends you your invoices.
right.
I am the guy that's posting on Facebook. The webpage isn't up yet. There is a webpage, but they never really did anything with it. I just haven't had time to go in. I'm gonna have videos and pictures taken by my friend. Actually, it's another shout out I'd like to do. Judd Foster, the owner of Hootenanny's
Judge's an
barbecue.
awesome guy.
Such good people. Judd and Kate. They're with Kelly and Brad over at Hootenanny's. But Judd, excellent pit master, but he also takes really good pictures and videos, so he's going to help me out.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I think I did know that. I did
He had
know that. Yeah, he did it for a little
chef's
bit.
perspective
Yeah,
when he was in between
for a
South
little
of
bit.
Heaven
Yeah.
and Hootenanny's.
I did know that. Yeah.
And he's going to do some videos and stuff. We're gonna make it fun.
Nice.
But that's going to go on my website when I get to setting that up. Right now, I just have the Facebook and the Instagram. So, but I'm the guy that does all that. So, am I really going to send you to court? Probably not. I'm still
Right.
going to threaten you with it.
Yeah,
in hopes that
you
you're
can.
going to pay me and do the right thing. But for the most part, I can say there's been like a handful of bad apples in the past 5 years. So it's not that bad. You're going to get that with any business, whether
Yeah.
you're a vet or a trash guy or whatever.
Could you set up the fee structure for like a flat rate to pay up front, and then the second would be this is what it was at
that's
the
what I've
rate?
talked about. I've always just tried to talk to people and see or think about my point of view. I would rather just pay once, but at the same time, from a business owner point of view, say it's a $350 dumpster, and I might have to charge an extra $40 for extra because I include so much weight. So if I have to charge, and I say an extra $40 for weight, you're talking $390. Well, if I already have that $350 up front, and you don't pay me for the rest of it, I'm out $40.
Yeah.
But if I wait until the end and charge the whole thing, now I'm out $390.
Right.
Where $390 and $40, it's a lot different. So
Yeah.
it's just little things. I mean, I'll change it as I go, but it's that you don't think of. But just a learning curve, learning as you go. And
That's we're doing the same thing.
Right.
We're still learning how to do this
Right.
with the podcast. We're just kind of going along with it.
Yeah.
So it's I understand the process, having owned a business before,
right,
and I bought it. I bought the first restaurant from someone, and and just kind of growing it and learning what to do with it, and I have an accounting background, so at least I knew the numbers, but
we'll talk later. I need your help.
but it's difficult. It's
Right.
It's everyone looks to you for the answers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else. And so for some people that's scary, some people that's what they want because they thrive in that, and other people, just kind of try to look to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say be open to criticism, be open to suggestions, be open to change. Don't get stuck in your way. But
Yeah.
all right, this is the mold, this is the model, this is how we're going to do it, because it may work for you now, but you may see down the road that, hey, that really doesn't work that way, and it would be a lot easier to do it this way. Just be willing to accept that you
Yeah.
might be doing something wrong, and
Oh yeah.
it's okay. No one's perfect, and Be able to change and go with the flow. And
When you have more workarounds around your standard way of operating, then it's time to change the way you operate.
right,
Really, it is.
right.
Do you get a lot of oddball requests? I mean, do you get a lot of, maybe this really isn't something for me to take care of?
From a talking aspect, which is similar with other jobs, they say, like, if you're a hairdresser, you're also a therapist. If you're a tattoo artist, you end up talking about tattoos, like, this is my dead dog, or this is my grandfather's letter that he wrote to me, or you end up hearing stories, happy, sad, or whatever, and you end up engaging in conversation with them. Like, you don't go to tattoo school or whatever to be a therapist.
Right.
It just comes with the territory.
Right.
So I do get phone calls, and a lot of them are like happy, like, oh, I found, like, look at these records I found in the garage. Like, I would have never found these if you didn't bring me the dumpster, and I never would have got back there. Or I'm doing like an estate sale and hearing how Grandpa Joe died and the sad stories. So that part I wasn't prepared for. I didn't think I was going to be having those conversations, but you.
Yeah, and to me, that's you just mentioned that. Like, to me, that, like, it almost that empathy inside of you, like, comes out so much, because you're like, you think about it, like, these people, like, we work so hard. We buy our things. We're so proud of our things, and then you pass away, and it ends up in a dumpster.
Right. Well, I will say the estate sales, they do, on the last resort, they do try and have, like, they sell it to people or give it away, but then, like, then you hear their story, and what you want to be like, here, just take it. But I have a business to run. I can't just give you a dumpster. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, they do their due diligence to try and give it to the family or sell it at least before it goes to Trash Mountain.
Now, let's talk, we talk about throwing stuff out. Like, what are some things that can't go in the dumpster?
Oh, good question. Major no-nos are tires, because of how flammable they are. No car batteries, no liquids, like cleaning products or fuel. I had someone on the island, actually, when fuel was skyrocketing a couple years ago. He had 4 jugs from his shed full of gasoline from his lawnmower, like 5-gallon, like the jugs. Had 4 of them. He had 20 gallons in there. Luckily, they were right on top, and I was able to grab them. But I'm like, 1, they can't go to the landfill. I'll get fined for those. 2, you don't know me. The podcast. You don't know me, and I could have been a cigarette smoker and flicked not knowing it was there, and flicked a cigarette out or something, or an ash fly out the window, and
the whole thing
blown up. So no, nothing like that. No refrigerators, and if you have appliances, I have to know about it, because certain, like, Brunswick won't take them anymore. They will take them, but they'll charge me like $100 for them, and then I have to try and charge you for it.
Right.
The other landfills will take them. I say no car batteries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, my thinking, I was a little out of the realm sometimes, but I was like, because I asked, why no tires? Like, where are we supposed to put these things? They're like, well, it's because they're so flammable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, everything's flammable. Like, it's this wood that's there, that's flammable. That drywall can catch on fire. That the newspaper blowing in the wind can catch on fire. They said, well, because of how fast and how hot it burns. So my thinking was, prior to this, I was in education. I was thinking about a recess playground.
Yeah.
What do we put on the ground?
Rubber tires. Yeah.
For our children?
Yeah.
So I guess if those kids are going to burn, they're really going to burn. Sorry. But that's where my thought. I'm like, well, those poor children. Like, we need to change that.
So what do they do with the tires? Like, what do they go just to a tire recycling plant?
They do have a tire. They have a section. Like, I know down in Camden County, they have a before you drive back in the back to Trash Mountain, they have an area where they have tires set. I don't know where they go. But
Tire Mountain.
Like, maybe there's a tire. I don't know.
Like,
it's in a different dimension. They actually have a wormhole.
The Simpsons. Remember the Simpsons? They have the forever burning tire mountain.
Right. Yeah.
The Simpsons.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. I think there was just a tire fire down in Jacksonville that they were still trying to put out.
It could be. I mean, sometimes you get whiffs and you're like, Is that the paper mill,
Yeah.
or
I think
it doesn't smell like paper mill, but it's something. It definitely stinks. Maybe it's.
I think
tires.
the other problem with tires is that they just burn. They're very hard to put out.
Right.
So they burn hot, fast, and they just continually burn. So it's very hard to put out.
So those are major no-nos. I basically just you have to be like, just let me know, like, because and people will still break the rules. Like I'll be dumping a dumpster and all of a sudden tires will roll out. I'm like, really? So that's another thing I would say. It's I haven't yet, and I probably should. I haven't, but I should have something for you to sign when I come to your house. Instead of telling you and hoping you're going to be a good dude and listen, I should have something in writing which is good with text messaging, modern technology. I can text him like, oh, no, Miss Susan, look at your text message here. I wrote it out for you.
Yeah.
But if it's just talking, which is how most of my transactions go, is talking, it's my word versus yours.
Yeah.
Like, you never told me that. Well, yes, I did. I know I did. But
so
if I have something in writing that you sign, it's just been a lot of times I'm working when you're working.
Right.
So it's easier for both of us for you not to have to be there. Tell me what side of the driveway you want it on, what you want me to avoid, whatever. I'll drop it for you. You don't have to be there to sign.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I got to wait, and I have to work around your work schedule, which I don't want to do. I want to drop it off at 9 o'clock while you're at your office
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
there's nothing in the driveway to get in the way.
You can do the DocuSign through PDF, Adobe.
I can. You're right.
And you can email it and they can sign it. And
If there was one reason why I'm doing this, it was to just learn what you just said. You're very smart.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I didn't even think that even crossed my mind.
Yeah, and you can probably put link it to a text message and it can open it up, because I've gotten that before where I had to sign something.
Right.
It's a text message, click it, and
my first house, my second house that I bought by myself, I bought while I was at work, and I would just pull over and sign through my email and go on.
DocuSign.
Y'all are hired. I can offer you compliments and warm lunch.
What about
I'll give you some barbecue once a week.
What about hugs? I like hugs.
Hugs. I can do hugs and high fives. I'm really good at high fives.
Hugs and warm trash.
Warm trash.
Now,
lots of trash talk.
So when I was younger, I worked for the city I grew up with on Long Island. On Long Island, and I worked for the Parks Department. And we had to take the garbage cans, the trash, and we had to take it to the processing center, because it wasn't the dump. It goes there, right? That smell is like something that you will never, I will never forget. Like, is that something like every time you go there, does it hit you and you're like, or is it something you've gotten used to, the smell of?
Well, my background, I'm originally from upstate New York. I was born on a dairy farm.
The manure.
The manure.
Yeah.
Cow manure.
Yeah.
Horse manure.
The spreading.
So I'm used to those smells.
Yeah.
I was, and so but it's pretty awful.
Yeah.
You can say all paper mills aren't stinky, but the ones around here aren't that bad. But that one up 95 towards Savannah, I think it's like 76.
Yeah.
That is awful.
That's a chemical plant, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Rainier.
Well, whatever it is, I'm like prepared.
Yeah.
Like I'm tucking the beer, the truck.
I make sure like the vents are closed. And
Well,
everything.
even with the vents closed, like it's still like
You can't get
It
away
still
from
lingers.
it.
Like,
it like penetrates through the
It's been,
door. It's like
and it's been bad the
Yes.
past couple of days too, because I drive. I work in Savannah, so I
Right.
drive.
So
I pass it twice a day, every single
Ugh.
day. But yeah, it's I'm pretty sure that's Rainier, and it's a chemical plant, and whatever they're making, man, I can't imagine working there. Can you imagine just driving by it and you're like,
Yeah.
literally
Or
like,
living
or
near
living.
there,
Yeah,
living at
yeah.
exit 76. Oh my gosh! Like,
Yeah.
that's just gross.
Yeah.
It's funny because I worked for the school department growing up where I grew up, and I did most of the landscaping around the school. So I would cut the grass and trim everything, and I'd have all those yard waste kind of stuff, branches and things like that. Every once in a while, I'd get pulled in and we do some remodeling in one of the schools, and I'd have 2x4s and drywood and stuff. The truck that they gave me was this old 1970 Ford F-150, but it had a dump on it.
mm-hmm.
And so they take it up to the dump. And so we take it up to the dump, and you get weighed, and they have a compactor. I just back up to it and pull the lever, and out everything goes. The guy that worked there was the oddest man I'll ever know in my entire life. That's all he did was sit in that scale house. But when I show up, he'd come out. And I remember it was one time he had found a canister of black powder in the dump. And he poked a little hole. And those aluminum tennis ball cans. Mm-hmm. And he put some black powder, put a tennis ball in there, shove a lit match inside of it. Boom! That tennis ball goes 50 feet in the air, and he was just—it was like a 4-year-old with a. I mean, it was hilarious. And we sat there for like 20 minutes shooting stuff.
That's awesome.
Have you found anything crazy? Like,
I was gonna bring. I have found some crazy things. One of the things I found was. Remember the old, was it Nokia phones? The first cell phone with the Snake game on it?
Yeah.
That lasted forever. I have one of those. I figured maybe it'll be worth like $13 something.
Right. $17 shipping.
Future kids. Here you go.
Yeah.
I found one of those. I have found some weird things.
Parental advisory.
Things like, speaking of parents, that belong in parents' drawers.
Yeah.
Not Tonka toys, but other toys.
Yeah.
I found a lot of weird things. Or you're like, oh my god, it's a relic, like CDs now or cassettes.
Yeah.
VHS tapes, I see those a lot. So that's kind of cool because it's like, oh, I remember VHS tapes and stuff like that. Nothing else really too crazy besides the toys. I will say, as far as back to the stinky version of it, Brunswick takes the cake because they take everything. Where like down in Camden, there's 2 separate dumps. There's MSW and there's C&D. MSW is your household waste. That's where all the trash trucks go. They take your cans out of your house. C&D is construction and demolition, so it's just like the wood and the materials and stuff like that. Brunswick is a transfer station. That's probably the reason why they cost so much, is because you dump everything there, and then they take it in big trucks and take it to like a lot of them go to Camden. So it was last summer. The refrigerators went down at Sam's Club.
Oh yeah.
Oh. They brought the stuff that had not made it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was milk.
Oh.
Containers. And, they splash and they break. And so you get out and I wear boots, but you're walking in puddles of rotten milk. It was so bad. So awful. Sorry I keep making that noise on your podcast.
My God.
Man, it comes with the territory.
That is awful. That is awful.
And then you smell it in your truck.
Yeah.
When you leave. The other thing as far as smells is, like I said, I have 2 trucks. The one has a cargo box for all of my tarps and my tie downs because, believe it or not, you see a lot of those trucks out there that are like hauling and they don't have tarps on them.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
It's highly illegal, and it gives the rest of us a bad name.
Right.
If I'm on the causeway and I see like another truck driving with like a lot of the landscapers, they think they can get away with it.
Yeah,
but they're the ones that have like branches coming.
Yeah,
out.
it's annoying.
Yeah.
If I see stuff flying out of a truck, I will either slow way down or get away from them. I'm not going to be next to them because I'm not going to be associated with that.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think it's me.
Right.
Because I've got that phone call before. Wood was flying out of a dumpster. I'm not going to say the company, but flying out of a dumpster, and it was hitting vehicles. And they called me. And I knew it worked out. The trash gods were on my side. I had a load that was just insulation. So she's calling me and she's yelling at me, "You broke my headlight. Your black wood came out of your truck." And I'm like, nuh-uh, ma'am. And I'm like, here, I can't think of the name right now. The store at the end of the causeway behind like Dunkin' Donuts.
Striplings?
Striplings, thank you. I was like, ma'am, meet me at Striplings and call the cops. I will gladly pull over, untarp my load, and open the back door and show you the insulation that I have in this dumpster. There's no wood in my dumpster. So I like to stay away from them as far as, just so I don't get associated with that. Because,
Right.
the first thing people do, we talked about this earlier, is they'll go right to Facebook. They won't call me and say, hey, you just did that. But they'll go to Facebook like, well, did you see someone's trash truck dumping all that stuff? So I don't want to be associated with that. But as far as smells, I told you I have one truck that has a cargo box. The one that's working right now does not. So my tie downs and my tarps that I tarp your load with goes in the truck with me. So some of those old stinky houses, I've had houses where old people just let themselves go, and then
Yep.
they just like defecate and stuff, and I smell that stuff. Every other week, I go to a farm on St. Simon's, the farm at Oatland North. It's a horse sanctuary. They have goats and stuff there too, but a lot of these animals just go there. It's like a retirement home. They're going there to die and to live out their best life. So I haul their manure down to Camden County because Camden County takes the manure and spreads it with their grass seed as fertilizer on Trash Mountain. Once you get enough trash, then they put dirt on it, then they put grass on it, then they put manure on it. So I don't have to tarp that, but I do because I don't want poop or pieces of hay or anything flying out of the truck. Yeah. But that tarp has to go somewhere after.
Yeah.
In my truck.
Oof.
And luckily, I grew up on a farm, so it smells it smells like my childhood. Well, it still stinks. It's
Right.
poop.
Yeah.
It's like the Back to the Future scene where
Exactly, yeah.
or the horse poop gets just dumped.
Yep.
You're driving and all of a sudden, bloop. That's awesome. What was I going to say? So how can people reach you, man?
They can call me. It's 912-722-1652. They can go on Facebook. They can go on Instagram. When the website gets going, they can go on there eventually. I'm going to put it on there because a lot of people don't like to talk. We're in an age of talking and texting. So you can text that number too that I just said and set it up that way. But I am gonna set up something on my website where it's like just a form that you fill out.
Right.
What do you have? When do you need it? And then I'll get back to you when I can. But right now, just call me, text me. The social medias, you can message me on both of them. The Instagram. That's how we talked about doing this.
Instagram, yeah.
On the Instagram.
When's usually the busiest time for you? Is it spring cleaning?
Spring cleaning, yes.
I should say for residential.
Residentials, yes. So it's spring cleaning. Right when your Rugrats go back to school. That's a busy time for me. Everyone's like, all right, well, now what do I do? The kids, I'm either going to day drink or clean out the garage.
Right.
So they do that.
That's a lot of crap in their garage if they've got to call a dumpster.
Yeah. How many times have I called a dumpster?
Yeah.
And I still need another dumpster talking about that.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy. Yeah. I mean, because it's funny because I moved basically like almost 3 times in a way. And you've moved also too. And you've moved. So
Many times, yes.
I still have boxes from when I moved down
Same.
here in 2012 that I have not even opened yet.
Well, mine aren't that old, but I will say, full disclosure, I'm like Planet Fitness. I'm judgment free.
Right.
I mean, you're only helping my business if you order a dumpster. I'm not. If you want 30 dumpsters, I'll give them to you. Like, no judgment. On my end.
I don't judge. No
I don't
judgment.
I don't go through it. I just if I see it, it fell out in front of me. I saw what you threw away, but judgment free zone.
No, I mean, everyone's like, we just talked with Radiant. Everyone's busy, everyone's stressed, and
right.
Yeah, it shouldn't. If you need to clean out your house, don't be stressed about ordering a dumpster or two and what you're putting. Because I've been there before where we done clean outs and had stuff from the broken toys and this and that, and it's like, well, what do you do? What do you do with it?
I mean, you can set aside and do small piles at a time in your trash can, but why not just get rid of it all at once?
Yeah, it's easier that way.
I will say one of the downfalls to being in the trash business like this is it's not a 9 to 5. I don't work my set schedule every day. I could go in knowing, okay, tomorrow I have 2 of my contractors on St. Simon's, and one on. So I have 3 jobs lined up. Those could be my only 3 jobs tomorrow, or my phone could blow up. I don't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of with the contracting jobs, I don't want to be the biggest. I don't want to be the baddest. I want to get you with my customer service. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to grow. I want to grow my business, but I want you to remember me for my customer service and my punctuality and how I helped you out.
Yeah.
And it's been lucrative for me. I actually found out by buying this business, I'm not even on Google. I'm not on Google.
Wow.
You can't Google me. You can put in trash talk.
Right.
But if you don't know who trash talk is and you just put in roll off dumpsters near me, I don't come up.
Wow.
So the size that I am right now is just by like word of mouth.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah.
And I've been the only one doing it for a few years now.
Catchy company name too.
Very, very catchy name. But on my own personal side, as far as like planning, I'll try and like make sure my contractors are set. Residentials I can kind of sort of work with, and if I want to take off Friday, be like, hey, I was supposed to pick you up on Friday, but here's the deal. I can't make it there. However, I'm going to give you the extra weekend
to clean out a little
bit more stuff. You might find something here or there. I won't charge you. No extra charge because we do have, if you go over a week, there is a price per day. But no price. Keep it free for the weekend. Really, so I can go to a concert in South Carolina.
Nothing more stressful than like he's picking the dumpster up in 2 hours.
Right. And, I like to work with people too, and I'd rather build a good rapport with you than just get every nickel and dime out of you and have you work with me that one time. I'd rather I'd rather work with you and have you do 3 or 4 times or tell a friend or like, hey, you should go to this guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather get that kind of word out in the streets than, just make a set amount of money that one time and then be done.
So some people are going to listen to this, and I'm kind of doing this in my head as we're speaking because there's one thing we've been talking about doing is cleaning out the garage.
Right.
It's not jack full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could call you. Like we've got this one wild giant old microwave that died. We've got some boxes that we use for moving, and there might be a few other things, even a couple computers and a TV. Like some people are probably trying to figure out, do they have enough stuff to fill a dumpster?
I forgot that part. No TVs, no computers.
See? But like, do you get people calling you like, hey man, I've got like some boxes and maybe it could fit in the back of a pickup truck, but they just drive a Volkswagen and
Okay. So that's where I told you I work with other companies around. And they send business to me. If someone wants a roll-off dumpster, they'll send them. But there's I'll just shout him out. His name is John. He owns Quick Dumps.
Quick Dumps.
He used to own roll-off dumpsters. Now he has a straight truck. And what he does, he has a crew of guys, and they say you have a pile of stuff in your garage. Like it's all your boxes you just moved or something. You have just these boxes. It's not enough for a dumpster, but I don't have a car or a truck to throw it in. What do? You call John at Quick Dumps. He'll come, and his price. I don't know how he exactly does it. I'm not going to try and speak for him, but I'm sure he just goes there and he has to see the pile, see what he's working with, then give you a price based on how much stuff you have. But if you're like a tweener, an in-betweener, you go to somebody like him. Now, he can take a full truckload and load it. Or I've also sent people to him who are like, hey, I do have a lot of stuff, but I'm also 82 years old and my husband's, same age. We can't load it. We don't know anybody. We're from Michigan.
Yeah.
How do we? And I'm like, well, I don't do that personally. I don't have time to do that. I'm just going to leave you a dumpster. However, if you want somebody to load it, here, call John at Quick Dumps, and he'll load the stuff for you. That's part of their deal. They either take smaller jobs or bigger jobs, but they do the work for you. They pick it up. So I would suggest at that point, again, not that I want to push business away, but I would rather help people and help fellow business owners too, because they do the same thing. I get tons of calls saying, "Hey, John from Quick Dump sent me."
Yeah.
So it works both ways for both of us. I'd rather work with people like that and help people in what they need. So you don't have enough stuff in your garage? Great. Call this guy.
Yeah, I would much like that. If I were to call you and say, "Hey, man, I just got like 2 bushels of boxes and this microwave from like 1970 that weighs 800 pounds."
Right. Yeah, call him.
And you're like, "Well, I don't want to hear. Well, that's not enough for me.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Good luck with your bad luck, dude.
Yeah. If I say, "Hey, well, that's something that's too small. It's not going to fill the dumpster. It's not worth your money."
Right.
For me to come out there, but if you call this guy John, here's his number.
Yeah.
He specializes. I would send, I'd circle you again. I mean,
Right.
someone would do that. Okay, this guy is good. He knows what he's talking about because you sound knowledgeable. Now you sound knowledgeable,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
and you're willing to listen. So that's going to go on people's list. It's like, all right, when I do have something, like maybe they could do a big, huge backyard renovation, and they got a ton of yard waste. They need a dumpster.
I was going to tell you that too. The other option is you can still get my dumpster, but say you only have this much out in your garage. You also have, now you've been hearing about it for 3 years from your wife, that pile of lawn debris that's been there for 3 years. Get rid of that. Throw that in the dumpster too. It can go in there. You can mix it. You can combine that stuff.
There's going to be a lot of lawn debris in my backyard. Oh, there already was because of the hurricane that came down and knocked down
Right.
3 giant branches of that live oak in the backyard.
Right. That can go in a dumpster.
Most of the town has picked most of that stuff up.
Yeah.
The rest of it is going to be firewood.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to mention that in Glenn County, you are allowed two bulk pickups from the county.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And I've used them myself. I was going to mention that too, as far as things that I won't take. So things like refrigerators, or like I had an old sofa that was just too much to put in a dumpster. One of those old pull-out ones. I rolled the thing out to the street. Things like that I won't take. You just call them up. It may be like when I called, it was a busy season. It was around 4th of July. I had to wait 3 weeks,
Yeah.
but it's free. You get 2 of them, like you said, a year.
They'll say
Take advantage of it.
you got a spry a couple of 80-year-olds. They're kind of spry. They have a truck, and can they just take their stuff to the dump themselves?
Yeah, they can go right in Habersham to take it there, and there's a set rate. I will say they do have a new rule because it's owned by Republic now. It's not Liberty. Liberty rollouts are still a thing, but it's not the Liberty land or dump. It's Republic, and they do have rules as far as we have to wear the vest, like the neon vest, and you have to have a hard hat. Now you can, if it's like your first time there, you didn't know, they might let you borrow one. Otherwise, they will charge you, and it's like $25 for the hat and $25 for the vest. You're spending $50. Go to Harbor Freight, spend $7 on a vest and like $10 on a hat, and make sure you bring that with you. But yeah, you can take your stuff there. And
I've got a collection of hard hats. I do.
There you go.
I've got from Firth Rixon is a forge, so that's a hard hat.
Mm-hmm.
I got one from the wood pellet plant, hard hat. I got one from Dennis Engineering Group because we were building a new line and I needed the hard hat. They gave me one of the supervisor hard hats, got the wide brim.
There you go.
So yeah, I can grab a couple of neon vests anywhere.
Right.
So that's just an option.
You can take your stuff there, and like you just go in, pull the scale house, and they'll tell you where to go, and tell you to like watch for the bulldozer, and he'll show you where he wants your pickup truck to go. Because I can tell you from our point of view, we see y'all as mosquitoes. Like, oh, look at all these pickup trucks in line. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. They're gonna be buzzing around, getting in our way. But they have like a separate area where you can go and you can back your truck in, and you're not rushed, but you don't have all the Republic trash cans like standing there like, come on, man, take your time, hurry up, let's go. And I've been that guy. Like, I have 4 more jobs to do. It's 2:00. They close in 2 hours.
Like,
let's go.
One box at a time.
And they're taking off one box and flinging it, and doing a little dance, and then taking a piece of wood and flinging it. I'm like, no, knees to chest, let's go.
wow. So this has been a lot of fun, man. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
This is great. No,
I was
there's a
actually
lot of
nervous about it, but we
information.
just went blabbing.
Yeah. I mean,
Trash
it
talk.
goes by pretty quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
trash talk. We can talk trash all day
Just all
long.
day.
Yeah, what kind of 3 millimeter bag should I use?
I'm not telling you all the secrets.
Yeah. So once again, yeah. So if you guys are thinking about doing a spring cleaning, or just need, or if you're a contractor, or you're a flipper, or you're doing construction on your house and you need a dumpster,
Or fall cleanup, or summer
Yeah.
cleanup, or year-round cleanup.
or garage cleanup, or give Brad a call at Trash Talk. What's that number again, Brad?
912-722-1652.
Awesome.
The Instagram is 912 Trash Talk, and the Facebook is just Trash Talk Roll Off Dumpsters.
Yeah, and it's not Dirty Magazines.
No, it's not Dirty Magazines.
or Dirty Pillow Talk. That's his other business after hours.
That's after hours.
That's
That's
after.
that 900
Trash Talk
number.
After Dark.
Yeah, that's Trash Talk After Dark on.
Instead of 912, it's 900.
Yeah. So yeah. No, thanks once
Credit
again.
cards taken.
Yeah. Your credit card will be charged
Glad to accept.
Discreetly, you'll have a discreet charge.
We do charge up front for that. I promise. And thank you all. It's been a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah,
great
thanks,
having
yeah.
you, man.
I appreciate
This is
it.
awesome.
So yeah,
My first podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, thank you. So all right. Well, this was awesome. So next time, thank you, Brad. So
Good
see
luck.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.